welcome in to be our guest. And we just have one of our favorites, part of the family here at Time of Your Life. Mike, it's so great to have you here. You have been with Alabama Power so long. What is your actual position?
So I am area manager, which means I try to be a jack of all trades.
Okay.
But thank you all. Y'all are so gracious to have us to discuss all sorts of things.
Oh,
but
we
thank
love
you
you.
thank you for the time.
We love you.
Sure.
We were talking about how many things that people just really don't think about or don't know, even though you've heard so many times these
Right.
things. But let's go back over that, because we're getting ready to move from the winter time and we're getting ready to move into spring. So these are things that you need to know to help you save money on your Alabama Power bill.
Right.
So thanks so much for sharing some of those things.
Sure, and we're coming out of a really cold January and early February, as most of the viewers will remember. And in fact, keep in mind, and this is a key in the wintertime, just like in the summertime. Your power bill reflects exactly how much energy the customer uses. Because some people say, well, you increased my rates during the winter, you increased my rates again in the summer. No, the power bill reflects exactly how much energy was actually used during those periods of time, which is a really important thing to remember, because if we can control how much energy we use, then that means that reflects directly on the bill. And I'll give you a quick statistic that when the temperatures were around 35 degrees is the low,
wow.
you remember, and then they dropped down to 20.
Right.
Generally, that could increase power usage by 50% on any single day. So we're talking about small weather variations can have a huge difference, but the cold weather that we had and the hot weather that we know we're going to have,
know it's coming.
Right, will also have a huge effect on how much energy we use, and therefore what our bill might look like.
Well, money's tight with everybody.
Sure.
Right now. I mean, and you need, and frankly, we have a certain amount of energy supply as well.
Right.
So, it's like you don't want to exhaust that and use more electricity than you need. But what are some major things that we can do around our house to cut down on our power bill?
Well, the first thing is know about your usage. And Alabama Power has a couple of tools online. That's a My Home Energy tool.
Okay.
It's also a My Usage tool, which will give a detailed report of how that customer is using that power on any given day. So I can look and say, oh, my power I used a lot more power on this particular day. And then I can look and say, oh, well, the temperature was 35 degrees and it was very windy and cold outside. So we can make some decisions on our power usage by looking at exactly how much power we used and on the given day. And those are all tools that are free for anybody to access on alabamapower.com's website. So the first thing would be to know what consumes the most energy in someone's home. And that is obviously your heating and air conditioning unit. So anytime that I talk to folks and they say, tell me one thing I can do, I would always say, your usage of your HVAC unit is critical to your power bill. When you think about it, it can be upwards of 35% of your power bill.
Okay.
So making sure small things, setting your thermostat, and we've talked about that in the summertime, whether that's 78, in the wintertime, whether that's 68, whatever that comfort level is. But know every degree that you increase that thermostat is going to have a corresponding effect on the amount of power that is used. Making sure that the conditioned air stays inside of the home, so sealing door cracks and window seals to make sure that cold air doesn't come into the home, that warm air doesn't come into the home, so your heating and air conditioning unit's not having to work harder to essentially overcome all of those things that are letting that outside air in.
I can remember, and we still should do this, close your blinds when the sun is shining. I remember my parents pulling the curtains too on the sunny side.
That's right.
And it does make a difference.
It does make a huge difference. A ceiling fan or just any fan in the home. Even during the summertime, we don't think about a wind chill effect, but a fan can have a chilling effect even during the summertime.
I agree.
So having the air moving will make anyone feel more comfortable in their home, even when it's really hot outside.
So it would be if we set that at 68 or for when or 78 or 70, whatever
Right.
you can tolerate,
Right.
is it best just to leave it at that and not mess with it?
Yes, programmable thermostats are all over the market now, and that's where that thermostat will actually learn your habits. A smart programmable thermostat will do that. But the recommendation is to find whatever that comfort level is and leave it. So that's going to avoid that unit having to work harder to overcome